never thrown an inadvertent caution and almost had to give the guy the lead back, huh?
It's an interesting conversation. So you're discussing race management now, it seems like.
Well, I was asking them if they've ever been in the situation where the leader of the race spun out, they threw the caution, and he was far enough ahead that they almost had to give him the lead back because their rule is a blend rule. So I've just never seen it, and obviously I think the rule, they did the right call by moving him back a spot, but kind of saved him. But he had a big enough lead, did a 360, spun across the track, did a wheelie. It was just a wild.
Did he maintain it? Did he maintain the lead, and they just took a spot technically?
But he wouldn't have probably, so that's the tricky part. So.
Well, you probably had the most famous of all blend-in rules situations of the year. Not necessarily great, but first night of Chico, this kind of got to be a little weird. You got a whole year of kind of race directing in your books, and now you're coming to a track that you kind of run. You've been used to going to tracks that you're kind of not involved with. What was that like?
Well, I love Chico. I mean, it's obviously a tough balancing act to be a driver and a promoter, and I just really want the best for the event, and there's a lot that goes into these events. But we got a good team, with SLC Promotions and here at Chico with my wife. So, they take care of a lot on my race night, and I thought they did a good job with the track tonight. I thought the racing was pretty good. We're trying to do the split field, and we lost a few cars to crashes last night, and a few guys were illegal with their frames, and just some random stuff, so we had a little lighter car count than I would have hoped. But all in all, I mean, the crowds have been good, the atmosphere's been good, the racing was good tonight. Obviously, we lost Lowell Morale, our track prep guy, so this is kind of our first, true test to try to get the track dialed in with a different group. So, yeah, there's a lot of challenges, but overall, so far the first two nights have gone, pretty well.
Well, and it's funny, you mentioned the whole frame deal. I heard some people saying, well, out King of the West, certain areas, you could just, they don't really check that stuff. Does High Limit check that stuff? Just curiosity?
I mean, obviously, we're aligned with the World of Outlaw rules and the All-Star rules and Knoxville's rules. And, so we honor, if they have a sticker, they've been texted by in a
reputable person.
Yeah, then we would tech. But obviously out here, it's probably some things are getting by. It's a little bit more local racing out here, which is fine. I mean, some guys I'm sure are not trying to cheat. They just had frames that, the Outlaws are teching a little bit, tighter, and they're finding there's a couple tubes that are a little light. So it's unfortunate. I feel bad for them, but I mean, obviously the Outlaws is an elite series, and they're not going to allow things to be illegal, which is great. You want fair and you want integrity and that's
safety. What is
safety? Yeah, I mean everything. So it's definitely a big deal that they go through these cars, and yeah, they caught some tonight, and we're trying to split the field, and we're trying to give these locals a better shot. We're trying to give the fans two different shows to watch on Thursday and Friday, and try to build it up to Saturday. So kind of bring some of that tradition back. And I thought the race was still great tonight. I just kind of wish that there was a few more cars. I think tomorrow there'll be 8 or 10 more cars than there was tonight, and then Saturday I think we'll have over 60 in the pits. So we're gaining on it, but we still got some work to do.
Well, and you didn't say Larson stunk up the show, but you might have. No, I'm just kidding. Inverts are great. It seemed like inverts worked out very well. Maybe didn't work out for some of the more higher competitive cars like the Macedos, the Celsius, the Days. They were kind of stuck back there. But it's hard. Inverts are just hard to deal with,
Yeah, I mean, I thought the race in the A, if a guy was really good, I mean, Corey Dade was passing cars and coming through, and Larson started 6th and 1, and I felt like I fell back and then went forward. But if my car was good, I would have been able to pass easier. Right. I felt like
it's a good track.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's tricky. It's got some character, and it's got some grip. It's got some slick, and that's Chico. It's never easy. And we want this race to be hard to win. We want it to become a crown jewel event, and we know we got a long way to go to make it happen. But this is a good starting point for us.
Well, Caleb Henry was performing well. I kind of tried to help him get out and branch out a little bit. We saw a lot of musical chairs with drivers this year, and it seemed like a lot of people wanted kind of instant success. And I bring this up with you because a guy was like, he set me down. He's like, Brad Sweet, badass, one of the best ever, probably gonna be 5-time champion, kicking ass. And I go, yeah. He's like, how many races do you think he raced and Kasey believed in him before he started winning? And he looked it up. This is after the USAC, after the NASCAR try, 97 races that you ran in a top car until you picked up one victory, and then it was even spaced out.
Yeah,
that had to be, probably frustrating for you. Everybody wants to win off the bat, but kind of reassuring that you had a car owner that believed in you. I believe at the time Darren was the main car. Y'all had like a 2-car tando, so you could kind of learn.
Yeah, I mean,
but instant success, somebody on your level that's dominating the greatest series that we got in sprint car racing, came from 97 races before his first win.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, there's some unrealistic expectations in these pit areas and by some of these car owners. And, I think experience and building a team and, things take time. And I think a lot of people want instant gratification. And I just think you got to stick together and you got to let your driver learn, develop, get experience. And, if you make that investment, look, it's paying off for Kasey now. It took time. He's getting a return on his investment. We have great sponsorship. We're, competing for wins at the biggest races. We're, in the hunt to win championships. And I mean, that's how it works. That's anything in life. I think you can run a race team just like you can run any business or even your life. It takes time. You gotta, you really gotta invest and be passionate about it. And Kasey believed in me, and I think he saw that burning desire I had. But I have to work really hard to get to where I'm at as far as elevate myself. And you gotta really have an owner that believes in you. You gotta have good people around you, mechanics and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why so many musical chairs happen, but I think it'll calm down, and you're starting to see some.
Is it the TikTok syndrome where we're used to instant gratification in a way? I mean, no matter what it is?
I honestly think there's some young drivers, and there's just more to it than probably what we see on the surface of what's happening. But you're seeing Carson Macedo in the 41, you're seeing David Gravel on the 2, you're seeing Sheldon Honcho on the 7. Those guys are in those cars for 3, 4, 5 years now, and those teams are starting to elevate. So you're going to see more and more of that, but obviously some of the younger drivers are bouncing around a little bit.
Well, and obviously, the years it took, just for somebody to believe in you. It seems like sometimes car owners, if they don't get the success, they want to put another rider in the helm. And you didn't necessarily. It ain't like the series got softer. Some people would say that when you first started and was running, it was a little easier than it is today, and it's harder today, and you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's very competitive. But experience is a lot, and I don't know. I just feel like you got to get out here and you got to race a lot, and you got to be passionate about it, and you got to really try to elevate yourself. And I just, I don't know that a lot of kids quite understand that, and I didn't when I first started either. So it takes time. Everything takes time, and I'm just lucky that I've had such a great career and been able to accomplish everything, and had an owner that believed in me the whole time.
Okay, so what's happening in high limit? You got the 50K coming up, Lernerville.
Yeah, we got
kind of a good ending here.
Yeah, we got 3 great races. We got Lernerville, Bridgeport, and Putnamville, and obviously we've had a great opening season. It's gone way better than I expected. We've had some hiccups. We've had some rainouts. We've had to fight through some adversity, but I think that's what promoting is and building a series and a brand. But we've had some great races and very competitive. We've had some great crowds. I honestly couldn't be happier to this point. And we got Lernerville coming up next, which is a huge event. Dale Jr. is going to be there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
A lot of these outlaw drivers are going to use that last final ticket. Free race that they have to be there.
Final get out of jail free card.
I think that is going to be one of the most competitive fields and one of the best races we see all year.
And I'm assuming your phone's blowing up for next year on that gig. For some reason people say, "Hey, can you help me get a high limit race?" Like I don't know. I may text you, but I don't have that pool. It seems like everyone and their mama wants one. The West Coast is probably open for reigns now too. I don't know what's going on.
I just think we're just kind of exploring all options at this point. I mean, high limits is done well, and there's definitely a lot of drive behind it, and promoters are definitely open to the idea of wanting one. I mean, they're watching our crowds, they're watching our races, they like what we're doing, and that's what it takes in this industry. You got to get out and prove yourself, and so hopefully we'll be able to kind of put something out of what our plans are for next year soon.
Is it going big or?
Honestly, don't know yet. I mean, I think that everything's on the table as far as what we want to do with high limits next year. I mean, we just want to make a good decision. We have
for the sport.
For the sport, for high limits, for me and Kyle, it's just there's a lot of people that are involved in the decision, and I think the biggest thing is, we have a great thing going right now.
You really do.
And sometimes you don't want to mess a good thing up, and so we're just kind of evaluating everything.
The thing that's crazy with it is the relevance of it. I mean, if you go and type in high limit sprint car series, NBC Sports, blah blah blah, the big names are given attention. Where if you go type in World of Outlaws, it's not. It doesn't seem to. It seems like y'all have already instantly in 1 year kind of gained that more national notoriety, obviously due to the association with Larson.
I think that was the whole. The opportunity for me was you know, the fact that Kyle loves sprint car racing and, you know, wanted to create something that elevated sprint car racing. And, you know, that's something I can get behind, you know. Even though I love the World of Outlaws and this is where I've invested my time and built my career, you know, doing high limits maybe goes against the grain a little bit, but when you have Kyle and Flow Racing and some of these other things that are aligned with us and, you know, a lot of passion behind it, and you let me...
The ceiling is a little higher potentially.
Yeah, and you let me exude some of my passion, you know, into this sport, and, you know, I got a lot of great ideas, and I think there's, you know, some room for innovation and some new ideas here, and I think we have a great growing sport, so we just want to, you know, be careful on what our moves are moving forward, but yeah, we're going to explore every option, no doubt.
Yeah, you're just going to move. I mean, so many times you can just hesitate on what you want to do. Sometimes you just got to do it. You know?
Well, and sometimes you got to be patient too. So
right.
That's why we don't really have much to say at this point, because, you know, internally we're just trying to make some decisions.
Everybody comes to say stuff for PRI anyway, but
well, you get a lot of rumors going around about this and that, but you know, when the timing's right, we'll share what our plans are for next year.
Okay. You good?
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I know you want to get out of the suit.
Yeah, I just want to get out of the suit.